If you've played any online multiplayer games lately, you'll know that cheaters are a big problem. Some cheaters install hacks to make the game easier for them, or just to ruin it for everyone else. But others think they're so smart they live stream games with these cheats secretly on, pretending to be good just to gain an audience. Though all it takes is one wrong button press to reveal what they're really up to. With that said, let's take a look at even more streamers and gamers who were caught cheating. Icy Vixen and Bearded Banger. Call of Duty is one of the biggest and most competitive online multiplayer game franchises on the market. It's so popular that Alex Zedra, the voice actor of the game's Warcom operator Mara, has gained more than 475,000 followers on Twitch alone. Occasionally, she helps boost smaller Call of Duty streamers by hosting them on her channel. But one day, while she was hosting a streamer called Icy Vixen to thousands of her followers, she noticed that this girl was playing, well, too well.
Got a vehicle here.
Can you get shots? He's on one right here.
Down. Down him.
Did you see that? The millisecond she came over the hill, she hit a faraway target that she hadn't seen before with a perfect shot. That, my friends, is sus. Vixen appeared to be using a wall hack, or an aimbot, or maybe both. Wall hacks, or ESP hacks, allows players to locate enemies through solid objects like walls and terrain, whereas aimbots provide better target acquisition, making it easier to hit other players. Both hacks are expressly banned in Call of Duty, but it seemed like Icy Vixen was 2 for 2 with that otherwise impossible shot. Rightfully annoyed, Alex did some digging and quickly discovered Icy Vixen was a model whose streaming partner, Bearded Banger, was also hacking the game. Now, most cheating streamers feebly calibrate their hacks so that their cheating doesn't look too obvious. But this guy was so brazen, he was trying to trick his audience into thinking he could track enemies with pinpoint precision like this. Ugh, pathetic. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. Wasting no time, Alex called out the pair on Twitter. Twitch immediately shut down both the cheaters' streams, banned them, and the embarrassing backlash saw both of them delete all their social media accounts. But the drama didn't end there. Real gamers began trawling back through Vixen's past streams and analyzing her play. Her aim was always perfect even when she didn't have her hands anywhere near her setup. So it seemed she'd been using these hacks for years entirely undetected. Well, considering she won't be welcomed back into the gaming community anytime soon, I hope she's better at modeling than she is at Call of Duty. Young. Because most online multiplayer games and streaming sites have a zero-tolerance cheating policy, streamers who use them have to be really careful about what they show their audience. Otherwise, they could reveal their cheating live on stream, as this next idiot demonstrated so well. Back in February 2021, aspiring Call of Duty Black Ops Pro player Young was streaming his game on Twitch, but he was playing a little too well, and his chat started accusing him of cheating. He denied this and claimed he could prove his innocence by opening his task manager to show he had no cheat software running in the background. But this backfired hard. When he opened it up and continued playing, he didn't realize his stream now showed two different views, his game capture and the stream capture. The stream capture, which was what he was broadcasting, looked normal, but the game capture revealed some very sus red boxes with health bars appearing through the walls. Furious, his once fans and critics took no time clipping the video and sharing it far and wide over the internet. Disgraced and ashamed, Young quickly deleted his social media accounts and was eventually banned from Twitch. While I imagine getting exposed hurts, accidentally exposing yourself must be a whole new level of pain. Twisted Bear. Considering how competitive Call of Duty is, you'd either have to be real good or real dumb to claim you're the top Modern Warfare player in your Twitch bio. Amazingly, that's just what streamer Twisted Bear did back in 2020. And I'll tell you now, this guy was about as dumb as they come. A pretty talented gamer with good stats, he started up his stream as usual, destroying his opponents from all angles. But in a god-tier idiot maneuver, he forgot to hit the button that hid the hacks he was clearly using from his stream capture. For anyone who doesn't play Modern Warfare, I can tell you now, those yellow boxes and enemies' glowing exoskeletons that can be seen across the map aren't normal. That's a textbook wall hack. The clip quickly started making the rounds on forum sites like Reddit, which encouraged a lot of people to report him. Because both Call of Duty and Twitch have a zero-tolerance policy towards cheating, both his accounts were banned, and he hasn't shown his face again on either platform since. Well, he may have thought of himself as a top player, but that was a noob mistake. Now, you don't need a wall hack to locate those like and subscribe buttons down below, and you probably don't need an aimbot to hit them. I say probably, but prove me wrong. Alright, who's next? Semper0311. When gamers get caught cheating, one of two things usually happens. They either issue an emotional apology, or they wordlessly disappear from the gaming community. However, there's a third way of dealing with the fallout, as Semper0311 demonstrated back in 2020. This little-known Twitch streamer was playing Destiny 2 to less than 20 viewers when someone in his chat commented that his opponents were appearing through the walls, highlighted in telltale red boxes. Idiotically, Semper read the comment out perplexed, and then realized all too late what he'd done.
I had no ammo.
Hold on, be quiet.
The screen has the red squares around them.
Oh my god.
Realizing he'd been caught streaming with hacks on, Semper acted confused, pretended not to know what the red squares were, and ended the stream. He quickly deleted the footage, but not before his followers had clipped the most damning parts and posted them online for the whole community to see. Even then, he kept on pretending that he had no idea what this very blatant wall hack was. In later streams, he even threatened his viewers with the ban hammer to stop them from bringing it up.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And I didn't, dude. So again, if you want to get banned, you can keep saying that, and I'll ban you too.
But then he quickly changed his tune.
But there was wall hacks on my computer yesterday on stream. Like, I'm not denying that. I just don't know how they got there.
What next? Is he gonna start blaming Clara for the hacks on his computer? If you don't get that joke, go and watch part 1 of this series. Despite his feigned ignorance, Semper was banned from the game. I guess becoming a pro player just wasn't part of his destiny. Solista. Many game companies have spent years developing systems to detect and ban players that use hacks in-game, but few are as good as Valorant's system. This team-based first-person shooter was only recently released in 2020, but it took no time for cheaters to build a series of hacks to help them win. However, the minute the game's Vanguard system detects someone using hacks, it shuts down the entire match and boots the cheater to help keep its leaderboards free from these tedious morons. But Vanguard isn't perfect, something that streamer and player Solista attempted to exploit back in April 2021. Ranked 65th out of millions of North American players, Solista was gradually making a name for himself in the Valorant community. But all of a sudden, this happened live on his stream.
What? Really, dude?
Yup, Vanguard shut the game down because it detected Solista was cheating. He may have seemed confused, but to me, that was the least convincing "really, dude" I've ever heard in my life. After running away from the problem like a baby, other gamers began analyzing snippets of Solista's gameplay. And in hindsight, it looked hella suspicious. His aim dubiously snapped onto his target's heads, and he appeared to shoot without hitting a single button. Solista later claimed he was using the spacebar just off camera to shoot, but the damage was done. Solista's name was removed from the ranks, his Twitch account went dark, and he hasn't shown his face online since. Paximo. Now, streamers who use hacks try not to make it obvious they're doing so while they're broadcasting. Otherwise, their audience might call them out and use the footage as evidence. Though Valorant player and Twitch streamer Paximo didn't seem to get that memo. He'd managed to dupe the Vigilant Vanguard system, but he couldn't escape the eagle eyes of his followers back in June 2021.
Feeling sight.
Did you see that? Let's rewind and slow down. Somehow, Paximo knew someone was behind that wall, tracked them perfectly, and then hit them with the headshot the minute they stepped out. Like that wasn't sus enough on its own, he also fired a perfect shot through the smoke, even though he couldn't see the target. Rookie mistake. After several people reported him, karma quickly came knocking.
He's close right.
Why did my game just freeze?
Why did my...
Oh,
Now, Paximo clearly thought he was too clever to have been caught and tried to log back in using a different account, but Vanguard was having none of it.
Restart.
Dude, what is going on? Dude, actually, I don't know what's going on.
After realizing this wasn't a glitch and that he really had been caught, he guiltily shut off his stream. You see, Vanguard bans the user's hardware ID, which makes it impossible for them to log back in unless they purchase a new PC to play on. He was quickly banned by Twitch as well, and hasn't shown his face online since. Well, I think the lesson here is, if you're stupid enough to cheat, be smart enough not to get caught. Ryut. Valorant's Vanguard system may be good, but it isn't perfect, as they disappointingly found out during their official TGS Signature Series. The tournament had a grand prize of $2,000, attracting the best of the best teams from around the world. However, during a quarterfinals match, Team Tokyo player Ryut stunned the audience with his skills, and not in a good way.
Ryut's gonna get pushed back a little bit.
So good
Piece
pick
by
there.
piece, they'll work this.
Rare, taking out Good Steve. We spoke about Good Steve's performance, and okay, traded back in kind for Riot as well.
Did you see that? Okay, this footage is from tournament mode, so Ryut shouldn't have been able to see the figures in red here. But his crosshairs instantly locked in on an enemy behind the wall, completely ignoring the visible enemy in front of him. And the proof is in the bullet holes. That's an aimbot hack if there ever was one. The clip quickly went viral within the Valorant community, and Ryut's account was rightfully banned. Sayonara, cheater. Nick A30. Being caught cheating for a cash prize may be bad, but being caught cheating in a charity match is worse. During the 2020 Twitch Rivals Fortnite Streamer Bowl, popular streamer Nick A30 was paired with NFL player David Morgan as part of the Fortnite tournament. The victor would win part of the $500,000 prize pool for charities of their choice. To make it fair, the rules specified where on the Fortnite's map the players could land. If the players landed outside this zone, they'd get a warning. Repeated warnings would cost players points and eventually get them removed from the tournament. Pretty straightforward, except Nick had a different strategy in mind.
Exactly what he did last time.
So I think what we want to do,
because
remember, we get a warning.
That is true.
We don't
I mean, he
get
plays
points
all
off,
around
then we
this
just
area.
go back
That's
in.
Stevie Sachs, as does Nate Hill.
It's not a bad
We've
thing.
seen him land here.
Sorry to say, Nick, but being caught chatting about trying to cheat on a charity stream is definitely a bad thing. The pair ultimately ended up landing outside the allowed zone, annoying a lot of the other players taking part. Even though they technically cheated, they ended up placing 6th and won $30,000 for their charity. Okay, so it's not the worst cheat in history. If anything, it was cheating for a good cause. But Nick's actions really split the Fortnite community as he walked away without punishment. So, what do you think? Did Nick deserve to be reprimanded, or was cheating for charity an okay thing to do? Let me know down in the comments. Captain Baldi. Some of the cheaters in these online games are so dumb they can be baited into revealing their hacks in the most obvious ways. Case in point is our next Twitch streamer caught cheating, Captain Baldi. A fan of claiming a high score in Call of Duty Warzone, this guy got a little too cocky and began hitting enemy players through the walls. His chat wasn't happy, and so they demanded to see his task manager to prove he wasn't running any illicit programs in the background. He acted like nothing was wrong and happily hit Ctrl-Alt-Delete to bring it up. But he forgot where all his windows were, and something else came up on his stream capture instead.
No, Control-Delete.
Control-Delete?
Wait, but you have it on window?
No, Control-Delete test.
If you watched part 1 of this series, you might recognize that all too familiar Engine Owning pop-up. Engine Owning are a company that make cheap cheats for games like Warzone, including, as Captain Baldi just showed the world, the old Aim at Enemies aimbot function. And would you look at that, he has it set to on! To his credit, he quickly realized his mistake, but the viewers in his chat were even quicker. They crucified Captain Baldi, and he was temporarily banned from Warzone as well as Twitch soon after. Twitch eventually reinstated his account, but since then, all his streaming efforts have been inundated by people calling him a cheater. Well, they're not wrong. Annie Rog. You might be thinking that it's just PC or console games that people can cheat on, but thanks to Rogstream, we know they can cheat on mobile games as well. Rogstream is run by Indian YouTuber Aparna, also known as Annie. She's attracted more than 360,000 subscribers on YouTube and 2.2 million on Facebook by playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, or PUBG, mobile. Now, for the most part, she plays it through the game's official emulator on her PC, which makes sense considering she's also streaming. However, at the beginning of one of her matches back in 2019, something odd flashed up on her stream. Now, I don't play PUBG, but I'm pretty sure that big yellow lines showing the enemy's location, name, and stats shouldn't show up for you. Annie didn't think so either, as you can tell by her look of pure panic. It was pretty clear she was using some sort of wall hack or ESP hack, so she quickly exited the match and tried to explain that she didn't know what it was. But the gaming community didn't believe a word she said. She later uploaded an apology video admitting she had been using hacks, begging her followers for forgiveness, and promising to do better. Looks like the only thing she played here was herself. Franco R6. The only thing better than seeing a cheater exposed live on stream is watching someone bait them into exposing themselves. And for our viewing pleasure, Mastermind GMZ managed this back in 2020. He was playing Rainbow Six Siege when he noticed one player was a little too good at predicting other players' positions. GMZ accused him of cheating, but the brazen hacker invited GMZ to take a look at his stream to prove he wasn't. So, GMZ asked for his stream name and told him to put his Streamlabs on display. This way, he'd be able to see if he'd been hiding his hacks from his game capture. Sure enough, streamer Franco R6 revealed himself and did as GMZ asked, but the moron didn't realize that by doing so, his wall hacks were visible to the whole world.
You're cheating.
Está rushando. Rushing, guys.
For those who've never played Rainbow Six, I can tell you now, those green boxes indicating your opponent's location aren't normal. embarrassingly exposed, the team started laughing at him in their chat, and only then did Franco R6 realize what he'd done.
What? There you go. That's him.
What?
Pick me up.
Oh, that's the sound of someone who knows they've messed up. Since then, he's done what any exposed cheater with a shred of common sense would do and has rid Twitch of his presence. Nice job, GMZ, doing God's work there. Elm Zero. Casual gamers caught cheating is one thing, but professional gamers who cheat are a whole new level of low. That's something Zenith Esports found out back in 2019 when they were recruiting for a new Apex Legends team member. To test out some of their new talent, they'd organized a friendly scrim match against another pro group. But in the middle of the match, a different pro player called Rogue, who just happened to be watching a member of Zenith's team, flagged up some seriously suspicious behavior.
Exposed. You're separated from me.
Yeah, let's run that back. Did you see him shoot the wall there before tracking and shooting the guy the second he appeared up top? There was literally no way for him to have known that guy was there, unless he was using a wall hack. The cheater in question was Elm Zero, a player Zenith were in the process of recruiting. More footage was then released showing Elm warming up with an unnaturally tight tracking pattern. It was obvious he was using some sort of third-party tracking hacks. Embarrassed beyond belief, Zenith immediately dropped Elm Zero from the trial pool. Well, at least Elm Zero made a name for himself, even if it wasn't the good kind. Lee SDA. Speedrunning is a type of gameplay where players complete games in the fastest time possible, a bit like racing events for mega nerds. It takes hundreds of hours of practice and super precise button pushes, with mere seconds separating official top positions. As nerdy as it sounds, speedrunning is serious business with an incredibly smart community, one that Lee SDA thought he could outwit back in 2014. He was streaming his speedrun of Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island with experienced speedrunners like Trihex and Carl Sagan watching, and they were impressed.
One chance. YOLO!
Oh my god, he got it! Holy.
But something was off. Lee shouldn't have been able to make jumps like this, which the community picked up on immediately. They believed Lee was recording tool-assisted or hacked runs and was then playing them back while pretending to play them live on stream. Lee idiotically tried to prove he wasn't cheating by streaming another run, but this time with the camera aimed at his hands so that his viewers could see that he was making all the corresponding button pushes. Big mistake. He couldn't keep up with the assisted run, and his viewers broke his playdown frame by frame to reveal Yoshi moved without Lee hitting the right buttons. With all the evidence piled up against him, Lee eventually apologized, had all his records removed from the official rankings, and hasn't streamed another game since. Game over. Getting what they deserve. If you play Call of Duty Warzone, it won't surprise you that more than 500,000 cheaters have been banned since its launch in 2020. These guys ruin almost every match, and most of them don't even bother to hide the fact they're cheating. However, back in 2020, prominent Twitch streamer Northern Lion, who has more than 450,000 followers, managed to make a spectacle out of one of them. He and his team had all been taken out by a single player who seemed impossible to beat. Suspicious, Northern Lion and a bunch of other players began spectating the guy's game stream, and what they saw was so shameless they couldn't help but laugh.
He does need ammo.
Oh my god.
That was like 18 headshots in 3 seconds. It seems legit, but it was about to get funnier because karma was right around the corner.
Oh! Yes! You fucking loser!
As the gaming community knows, the only thing worse than cheating is cheating and still losing. Schadenfreude. Putting a cheater on blast is fun, but streamer Courage revealed that getting them banned live in-game is pure serotonin. The YouTuber with 3.4 million subscribers was playing Call of Duty Warzone with his team when he noticed someone was playing with hacks that had the power to shoot him through the door.
I'm out of plates again. Oh my god!
Not cool. After the hacker, called Mini Ninja, wiped out most of his team, they started spectating his gameplay and called him out. Mini Ninja then revealed he could hear them and twisted the knife by taunting them even further.
Yo, Mini, can you hear me? Not up and down if you can hear me, bro.
Bro, people just load into this game. Oh.
What's it like?
Oh, look, there he is. He's nodding up and down.
Courage was annoyed, but instead of rage quitting, he decided to get even. He figured out what Mini Ninja's unique player ID number was and realized the game mods could ban the guy live with the information. He reached out to them, kept his fingers crossed, and then, with just a few players left in the game, this happened.
Banned! Yes! Yes! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Wait.
They actually did it!
Wait.
They're all getting banned! Oh my god! Whoa! We did it!
Justice was served hot that day. Now, we may never know who Mini Ninja really was, but that's still gotta be one of the most satisfying Warzone moments in history. Dream. Now, this is the big one, or at least it will be to the Minecraft community. This multi-platform sandbox adventure is the best-selling video game in history, with millions of avid fans, and some take it one step further via speedrunning. In the random seed category, players try to complete the game in the fastest time possible using completely randomly generated items. Needless to say, it relies on a tremendous amount of luck. At least, that's what Dream wanted people to think. This YouTuber rose to fame in 2020 thanks to his super-fast Minecraft speedruns, which have gained him more than 26 million subscribers. In 2020, he submitted a random seed speedrun that would have seen him take 5th place on the official leaderboard, but the verification team surprisingly rejected it. Confused, Dream fought the decision, but then they issued a whopping 29-page-long document running the maths behind Dream's supposedly randomized run. In short, the run simply wasn't possible without some kind of cheat enabled. How impossible? Well, to get to the end of the game, players typically need 2 key items, Ender Pearls and Blaze Rods. The quickest way to get the first one is to barter with Piglins, though there's only around a 5% chance they'll randomly drop an Ender Pearl. But in his run, Dream was shown successfully bartering for these 42 out of 262 times. That's 16%, and his luck didn't end there. Blaze Rods are randomly dropped by defeated blazes around 50% of the time. Dream got 211 rods from 305 defeated blazes. That's 69%. Nice. Now, being lucky isn't proof of cheating, but statistically speaking, Dream had a 1 in 177 billion chance of getting the trades he did, and a 1 in 113 billion chance of the rod drops. Being that impossibly lucky once is a little suspicious, but twice? No way. So the mods claimed Dream was running something malicious in the background that improved his odds, even though they couldn't prove it. At first, Dream denied this furiously. He made all his files public for people to look at, and he even hired an astrophysicist to go over the numbers. But after months of combing through his settings, he finally realized what had happened. He'd cheated. Accidentally. He'd installed a series of mods to help him stream, but a complication with a Minecraft update meant they'd impacted at least 6 of his speedruns. He then posted a lengthy quasi-apology on Pastebin where he stated he didn't have any intention of cheating. But intentional or not, the damage was done. Some of his most loyal fans defended his actions, whereas many others turned on him and accused him of doing it for clout. But to his credit, Dream claimed he didn't make a dime off the drama. The streamed Twitch run didn't have any donations turned on, it wasn't monetized, and wasn't even uploaded to his YouTube channel. Ultimately, he apologized, praised the speedrunning mod team for doing such a diligent job, and moved on. Now, that's not a bad run if you ask me. If you want to see more streamers and gamers held to rights, be sure to check out part 1 of this series. And if you know of any others caught in the act, let me know down in the comments below. And, as always, thanks for watching.